to Commanders Daily, everybody. I'm Bob Matthews. This is your one-stop shop for everything going on with the local 53. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss a minute of it. All right, the schedule came out. We've all processed it. We've digested it. Now let's go ahead and look game by game, see if we can figure out a win total this year for the Commanders. Now, Cynthia Freeland of the NFL Network has them at 10.2. That's a pretty good number, I think, unless, you just want to be wildly optimistic and say, well, they're, going to go 14-3 or something like that. Let's start off with the first month of the season. We're going to go by this by the quarter like we did yesterday. This time of year, when you start looking at these things, it's not so much who you're playing, but when. So let's go ahead and break it down and get a rough idea of where we think, at least right now, this team could be headed win-wise. We'll start week one, and as we talked about yesterday, I think this is a fantastic week one game for the Commanders. Not only is it a division rival, but it's a crappy division rival. Crappy in that the Giants are a tire fire right now. I think it's a great way to start the week, and I say they get a win week one against the Giants, obviously, based on what we know right now. And then, like again we said yesterday, Green Bay, the second week of the season, if you got to go on the road to Lambeau, I would much rather do it in September. I actually think they're going to win that game. I mean, I know all of the scar tissue that we all have built up, but hey, Green Bay was 10-7 in a wild card team last year, and the Commanders were 12-5. So on paper, as it stands right now, the Commanders are a better team. We're looking ahead to weeks 3 and 4. Again, we talked about this yesterday. I think September is a fantastic schedule for them, and it gives them the chance for a really fast start. The Raiders at home, new coach and Pete Carroll, and of course the Raiders are a mess as well. So let's go ahead and give them a win on that, make it 3-0. I just don't see them getting through the entire month of September undefeated. So let's go ahead and week 4 in Atlanta against the Falcons. Let's just go ahead. It was a close game last year at Northwest. Let's see, that's their first loss of the year. So they're 3-1 headed to October. Not a bad month of September, if you ask me. All right, now October is when a lot of the prime time schedule begins. We're talking mostly 1 o'clock games, except for, of course, the Thursday night there in September. 4:25, week 5, a national TV game against the Chargers in Los Angeles. I like the Commanders in that one. What can I say? So that puts them at 4-1. The Bears at home week 6. I think they win that one. I think they outplayed them last year. I didn't need the up until the Hail Mary, you were thinking, hey, it's really a shame they're going to lose this game. So I say they're 5-1 coming out of week 6, and I'm sorry, I can't see them losing to Dallas, even in Dallas, because I think it'll be a grease fire by week 7. We're 6-1 now after they beat the Cowboys. Week 8, to close out October, they go to Kansas City. Hey, the Chiefs are the Chiefs. Until they can show me that they can beat them, let's make that the first loss of the year. And they wind up coming out of October, I think, with a very, very good 6-2 record. Will that be enough to be ahead of the Eagles at that point? I'm not sure, but it's got them in the thick of everything. November, I think, is a real make or break month, and that's because 3 of the games are at home and you've got your bye. So we start week 9 with Seattle. And again, as we sit here right now, I like that. I like them to win that game. So let's give them a win against Seattle. Also, you got to defend the home field. If you're going to be a playoff team, you defend the home field. Just for the sake of argument, let's give them a loss to Detroit. I know it's at home. You don't go 8-0 at home every year, although that's always the goal. But let's just say that that week 10 game against the Lions is a loss. That puts them at 7-3. They go to Madrid the next week to play the Dolphins. Again, anything can happen when you're overseas like that, but I think they're the better team. We don't know how Tua's going to hold up. Let's go ahead, and Mike McDaniel, the seat seems to be getting warm there as well. So let's go ahead and give them a win there against Miami. That makes them 8-3. Coming home to play the Broncos the very last day of November, I'll give them a win there. So that is 9 wins out of their first 12 games coming out of the bye. Not too bad. I don't think. All right, so now we go to December, which is going to be really, really interesting because of both the schedule and of how they're going to play the schedule. Let's go ahead and say that they stubbed their toe against the Vikings. Why? Just from the sake of we can't be penciling them in for a win every single solitary week. Vikings are a good home team. Let's give them a loss there. So that makes them 9-4 going to week 15. Again, they go to the Meadowlands. I think that's what I call a TCB game, taking care of business. And if you're going to be a playoff team, you're going to beat the Giants because they're simply a better team. So there is that's 10-4. The Eagles, week 16, which is going to be that Fox doubleheader. That one's at home. I think they split with the Eagles this year, so let's give them that. That's 11 wins there. The Cowboys at home on Christmas Day. I like it. Let's go ahead and give them the win there. So that's 12. And then I really don't I don't like to forecast that last game of the season because you never know if there's anything at stake. Are they playing for a playoff spot, a home playoff game? Are they playing for a division title or what? But let's just go ahead and say that's a loss. That's 12-5. That ain't bad. Now, again, this by the first week of the season may look vastly different, or by the middle of the season may look different. 12-5, I could see maybe one more loss in there, making it 11-6. But let's face it, folks, the way it stands right now, this is an 11 or 12 win team. Now, anything can happen, and again, this is just a snapshot in time, but I think if, you look at the schedule the way it is right now, I think it's laid out fairly well. I know there's a quick turnaround there with late in the season with the Christmas Day game, but when you have a franchise quarterback, I think that just makes up for so many shortcomings and gives you so much more, such a bigger margin for error that I think this team's going to be okay. Remains to be seen, and again, we will probably be reevaluating this in the weeks and months to come. Nevertheless, that's what we got right now. All right, don't forget, hit the like and subscribe button when you get a chance. Join us every day of the week for your latest Commanders news. Have a great weekend, and like the wise man once said, if you're out on your bike tonight, as always, do wear white.